Deborah called me a few weeks ago. Hey, Chris, I want to be sharing about prayer. Do you have anything for me? I'm like, Debbie, I just don't have anything. Today she calls me and said, Chris, have you ever had a breakthrough in prayer? And so as I'm pondering that at work today, and I began to realize what had been going on in my heart the last few weeks, what had been going on with me personally. We just purchased a facility up on top of the hill that we're going to call the Learning Center. We'll talk more about that later. But we just purchased this, and the Lord had laid on my heart that I was supposed to go up there and pray every day. First, He didn't really say for how long, but He just wanted me to go up there and pray every day and to seek Him and to see what He had for up there on top of that hill, that it not be my plans, but it be His plans as far as what He wanted to do. I just kept putting that to the back burner, but also thinking about it often, like, oh, I got to get up there and I got to get up there and begin to make that a daily thing where I seek Him and see what He wants to do up there. As I pray, and it just feels like my prayers are just falling flat, like nothing's going on, like nothing's happening. I'm like, what in the world, I'm just struggling a little bit through the prayer thing. But what I realized today is that the enemy had been using that to keep me from praying to Him. The enemy was saying, he was whispering things in my ear like, oh, you can't even go up on top of the hill and pray for 30 minutes, He's going to listen to you now. The enemy was whispering to me and just discouraging me. And when she asked me that today, like, Chris, has there ever been any breakthroughs in your prayer life? I'm like, I've got nothing. And I literally believed that for a moment because of what the enemy had been speaking to me, and which is not the case at all. And so I hung up the phone. I just said, God, I can't handle this. I know You've done all these things in my life. I just began to think, and Lord, You met me here. You met me here. Yeah. You've done this. Yes. God, this ministry wouldn't even be here if You hadn't answered this prayer. Yeah. Just over and over and over, all these places where He met me. And as I began to do that, it's like my faith and my confidence in Him, it's like began to build, and it's like, oh, wait, He has met me here. The first thing I can think of where He met me in prayer was when I was a very young Christian. I was working on a couple's vehicle, and it wouldn't start, and they were in the position financially where they couldn't really afford to fix it or do anything with it. And I'd gone there to work on it, and I'd worked on it, and I diagnosed it, and found out that the fuel pump was bad in it. And I remember that day that we prayed that the car would start and run, because they couldn't afford to fix it and we didn't have any extra money. And then all of a sudden the fuel pump starts working. I'll never forget that. That launched me for the next 20 years of my life for believing God to do supernatural, crazy things like that. Just as simple as getting a fuel pump, where it wasn't working to working. I don't understand that, but it sure built my faith for the future and the things that He had for me in the future.
Over and over again, how we have praised God for breakthroughs because we've prayed about something.
Yeah. It says in Ephesians that He'll give us exceedingly and abundantly more than we could ever ask for. That's been the pattern with our prayers all these years. When we first started Finding the Family, or we began to pray about finding the family, way before we started it, we were kind of praying, God, would you give us a little bit of land, like 5 acres, and maybe an old farmhouse. We can move, double wide trailers are out there or something, and begin to build with that. And that's kind of what we had in our vision, because that's all that we could think of. We thought, God, if You could do this, that would be really cool. And then here we are on 50 acres and beautiful homes, and in the middle of a gorgeous valley, because He can do exceedingly abundantly more. Probably my biggest breakthrough in prayer is I talk to the families a lot out here about God's character. We talk about relationship because that's what's important. We want to build a relationship with the Lord, and we do that in prayer. And as we talk to Him, and as He talks to us and whispers to us and nudges us, and just as we sit in His presence, that's how we build a relationship with Him, so that when we go through tough times, even like I've been going through lately, we know, in reality, hey, I can go to Him because He's my dad. He wants me to talk to him. He wants to talk to me and encourage me. He's not over on the other side saying, oh, I can't believe that you haven't been up on top of the hill praying to me. That's not his character at all. He's just saying, come on, Chris, come on. Do what I said. It's going to be really, really good. It's going to be really cool if you just do what I said. That's the coolest thing with prayer for me, is I get to spend time with my Creator and have communion with him.
If that is the one thing that our families walk away from finding the family with, is that they can have a conversation with their Creator about anything, then we did well.
Yeah.